No, it's okay. Just the dryer. Be a nice girl, please. Okay, you be a nice girl. Wah, wah, wah. We're notifying viewers that you're live. Well, hello. Seeing your names joining. How is everyone today? Hello, hello. Hello. I just saw that Limitless Queen Batch joined and my girl Rhonda. Hello. I love that it tells you who's joining. How is everyone? I'm totally supposed to be doing some business related tasks that I'm procrastinating on. So hi, I'm live. See how diligent I am? No, I'm manifesting being more organized. That's who I'm identifying as, just saying. I'm gonna let you know there's gonna be some background noises. I'm gonna stay live with you until my next coaching call, okay? But I'm doing laundry still, so there's washer and dryer noise. And occasionally poop. If you're new here, Poop is my dog. She's my pit bull. I call her my daughter because she barks at the dryer. So that might happen. Let's not manifest that though. I gotta stop identifying with it. Okay? I've missed you guys. Let's see, what? Kim, I can help you the week of June 3rd. The week of June 3rd. What do you mean? Kim, what's your take on people saying believing in all of this is spiritual psychosis? I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that they do. I'm certainly not in any way, shape, or form trying to say that there's never been another human in this world who's experienced the unfortunate thing of spiritual psychosis. But no, manifestation is not. It's not, okay? It's not. I mean, to be honest, there are plenty of, psychology world words that we get called too, right? Delusional. I don't care. I'm good with being delusional. Thank you very much. I'll stay delusional and get whatever I want in my 3D. So, okay, you can throw that label. See what I'm saying? There's always going to be someone in the 3D. At least this is my personal belief. You don't have to have this belief, right? I can see it, that it could be a limited belief. I don't think it is. It's whatever. I believe that there will always be at least one fun sucker in a group. So there will always be someone in the 3D who attempted to consciously manifest something and then they gave up. They gave up when they didn't get what they wanted in the time frame they wanted it. So from that aspect, they're going to start blaming manifestation for all their problems. And again, that word, that phrase, spiritual psychosis comes up. I think it's a joke. So you can see I get really defensive over it because I'm like, my God, what is it next? What's the next thing you're going to call this because we choose to believe outside of the box? Because we choose to believe that we're more than just this friggin' meat stack. You know what I'm saying? It's hilarious, in my opinion. I was looking to see if Rhonda wrote me back. If you need any remote help. Ooh, okay, Rhonda, I might just take you up on that, girl. Yes. Help Kim, my SP is afraid of commitment and has non. Oh, thank you so much. Look at that. Oh my God. Sorry, I love the little sticker thingies and the things that pop up. Okay. And has non-plans of staying where we are at. I don't know. What do you mean has non-plans? Do you mean no plans? Has no plans of staying where we at? So as far as your person having commitment issues, okay, clearly I'm not saying that your person didn't verbalize something like that to you. But from this moment on, we have to decide that that's not a truth anymore. So that means you're going to... Limitless queen. She always shows up. This point on, you have to stop identifying as being the version of yourself that has a specific person who has commitment issues. Do you see how it all winds back to you? I love you. But do you see how it always rolls back to you on who you're identifying as, I'm saying? Right? So, although, yes, your person may have said something like that to you, you know that that was just the reflection of one of your limited beliefs. So commitment issues, afraid of commitment, that can be, okay, this is just me giving my opinion. You know, we haven't had a one-on-one. That it sounds like the reflection of the not good enough, because not chosen, not a priority. I love you, girl. I love you. Thank you, T-Bear. That sounds like, yeah, the reflection of the not good enough, because not chosen, not a priority is an offshoot or an offspring of the not good enough belief. So instead, you would start identifying as the version of you that knows you're more than enough for exactly the type of relationship that you want with your person. That's who you are now. And that you are interacting with the version of them that is reflecting this new version of self. You don't got to use all the words that I just used. I don't want you to think that. But your manifestation truly is nothing more than changing who you identify as. And you're in total charge of that. So you've probably been, identifying as a version of yourself that doesn't believe or trust that you're good enough. And you don't have to have that exact conscious thought for it to be a belief that's brewing. Okay? So we have to stop identifying our specific person as non-committal. We're going to throw that right out as if you're not experiencing that. So you're like, yeah, you're going to be delusional for a little bit. And you're going to start describing your specific person the way you want them to be. And you're going to detach from reality from that point on too. In other words, I don't care if 10 minutes from now, your SP shows up and says the same damn thing to you. Like they don't want a commitment or whatever. I don't care. You don't care. It does not matter. It's not going to stop your manifestation from coming. Okay? It's nothing to lose your shit over. It's a reflection of your old self. That's it. Return to your decision to be yourself. Okay? 3D will catch up. It will. And by catch up, I don't mean like I believe that there is, a delay. I believe that we could experience what, for a lack of a better way of describing, appears as a delay, but there really isn't, because state shifts are instant. But you start doing that, and your person will change. Oh, wait, what? I don't know why I never got in. It's been well over a year. I'm not sure what you're talking about, my friend. How to start manifesting. Nora, you're always manifesting. You're always. Actually, the question should be how to stop, because there's no way to stop. So you're always manifesting. Your 3D reality, your experience in reality is always the reflection of who you believe you are. So if there's something specific that you want to manifest, you start identifying, you start claiming to be the version of you that has what you want. That's how you start conscious manifestation. And, the way Neville Goddard described it, and honestly, just about every guru or mystic from the days gone by all said in some semblance of a way, it's like denying your senses, denying what reality is showing you, denying it, right? And by denial, it doesn't mean that you have to put, blinders on and pretend you're not experiencing something in 3D. It just means I'm not going to let that limit me anymore. I'm not going to believe. Let's, for example, let's say you're manifesting money. And let's say right now your bank account is in the negative, but at the same time you're manifesting $100,000. Okay. You can accept what the bank account says, but you're still going to start identifying as the version of yourself that has the 100 grand. And from that moment on, you're going to decide that everything you're experiencing in reality is leading to that. It's leading to you having the 100 grand in your bank account. So again, detachment from reality doesn't mean you can't think about what you're manifesting. Detachment means I'm not going to let anything in the 3D tell me that I'm not the me that will have whatever it is you're manifesting. So you start getting in the habit of doing that, and you'll see life is going to start changing around you. You'll probably start getting BBLs of money, different amounts, from all over the place. That's what I experienced when I was manifesting my lump sum. Don't be discouraged with the BBLs. I was discouraged. I was an idiot in the beginning of my journey. Victim state idiot. Okay. What was your process? Wait, what? Hold on. What was your process when you said you decided to be yourself, and how did you stick to it? It wasn't a process. It was a meltdown in my living room. It was totally from a spiral out of anger, frustration, like anybody else would be. Frustrated with my 3D, annoyed with the 3D, annoyed that I was stuck in a state, or at least I felt like I was stuck in a state. And, like every time I turned the TV on, which was always on YouTube, anytime I opened up any app, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all it was other coaches' content coming in. And the moment I caught myself like second guessing my knowledge of manifestation because another coach came on, and it's nothing against the coach, and it doesn't matter who it was, I knew enough of this shit. I shouldn't be questioning myself. I know better, and I know enough about this, to know better. So it came out of frustration where, like I said, so imagine being bombarded with information, just like I'm sure all of you have experienced. Once you start, choosing content to watch, suddenly your apps are suggesting more and more of it. And having all these different coaches, some really good ones, some really shit ones, having their personal opinion on manifestation coming at you when you're already in a shit state. That was me. And that's where the fuck it, I'm done. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about manifestation. I don't care. This is what I'm going to do. This is all I'm going to do. And it's going to work. So it came more from anger and sass. So I took all of those shit feelings, angry, frustration, and I threw it all into the conviction that I was going to make this work. That does not mean that an hour later I was doubting. Of course, I had my up and down moments where I was, oh my God, is this enough? Am I sure this is going to be enough to manifest? Is this enough to change who I am? Blah, blah, blah. Of course, I just didn't give into it, right? So I might have had an emotional moment. I just wouldn't let it, like I say to you guys, I wouldn't let it change my mind. I wouldn't let 3D change my mind. Thank you, by the way, that was, thank you. And it worked. It worked. And the reason why it worked, not necessarily because my way is the only way, it worked because I had the conviction that it would work. Hence why it doesn't matter what technique you enjoy using, it'll work for you if you decide it will, right? Because it's not the technique, it's you, right? So in that moment, my conviction of this is going to work. I don't know why I think that. I don't know why I believe that. Blah, blah, blah. It's going to work. And it did. Hence why I say, make a decision. Who do you want to be? It's a conscious decision. Often, especially when I have people coming to me for coaching, the most common thing I see is people married to a technique. Okay? They're married to their technique, but they are not consciously changing who they are. They get into a comfort level of, well, if I, and it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what technique. So I don't mean any, like shitting on any individual technique, but they get themselves in this rut because they're still judging 3D. They're doing their technique, but then spending the rest of their day as their old self. So they're never consciously choosing that you are your new self. Your mind is that powerful, You've been given the free will, the authority to choose who you want to be. And I'm sure you've seen in comments, because this came up in a coaching call today, that, oh, I see comments all the time where people are, hey, I've been, manifesting for this amount of time. And I'm trying to think of the most latest one I saw. I saw someone say, I've been manifesting for 2 years. And I've been manifesting for 2 years and it still hasn't worked. Okay. No, you have not been consciously stepping into the state or the wish fulfilled. You have not consciously been stepping into that and then having nothing in the 3D. No. So, I think a lot of people give up and get frustrated because they're not seeing what they think they should see. I could go on a whole rant about that, but, it works. But that was the process. It was a meltdown in my living room, literally sitting in this seat right here. That's where it came from. So the process in itself doesn't matter. The conviction matters. The detachment from 3D matters, in my opinion. That's what worked for me. And it worked flawlessly, may I say. Flawlessly. And by flawlessly, I mean it didn't take a long time. It didn't. So, and the reason why I also say, you can't mess this up. You don't have to be perfect. It's because I was neither of those things. I was not perfect. And I was consistently, falling out of a state and questioning myself and then getting afraid and then having to return. I was the back and forth too. So, the idea is, it's not that you can't have a bad day. It's not that you can't have a doubtful moment or listening to a doubtful thought. It's that you just can't stay there. You can't stay there. We gotta, you want to outweigh the scales of what state you're returning to get things to appear to be moving in 3D. So I hope that helps. Oh, and as far as how did I stick to it? I think for me, and in that moment of time, so I'm talking specifically about when I made the decision that all I'm going to do is make a decision. I had the manifestation, I will say, experience at that point in my game. So I wasn't doubting whether manifestation was going to work, right? My belief in manifestation was already solidified. What that moment of time was, the reflection of my shitty state. And I felt very panicked in that state because all of my little tips and tricks that I'd always used to shift my state, they didn't feel like they were working. And I was starting to feel really worried that I was going to be stuck in that state forever because, we all know what happens if you stay in a shitty state. 3D's going to reflect, you know what I mean? But so I think, how did I stick to it? Because I knew manifestation worked. That was the bottom line, which is why I say you don't have to believe in manifestation, necessarily in order to manifest. But, and this is why I jump all over people that want to, who can't even talk, who want to defend that, who want to overly say, well, I don't need to believe for it to work. Stop wasting your fucking time defending the fact that you don't have to believe. Spend that time instead working on your belief. Because when you fall into a shitty state, when 3D, does throw you a wrench in your plans, you've got the foundation of belief so that no matter what, your knowing feeling is going to come. It's going to be your comfort. It's going to be that safety net. So, see what I mean? But that's how I stuck to it because I knew I had that. I feel like I haven't seen you on TikTok Live in a while. Well, you are correct. I think it's been like a month. Oh, Zay, thank you very much. Thank you. My birthday was Sunday. Thank you. How to live in the wish fulfilled. Please, Kim, can you share some practical advice, please? Yes. Now, granted, this is my idea of practical advice. Okay, so in my opinion, it is. And that is simply make a conscious decision. Make the conscious decision to enter a state. How to get you there is completely up to you. Hence why all techniques work. Because they're all, in my opinion, created to help get you to change your state. So if there's no technique that you particularly enjoy doing, then just like you woke up, I'm assuming, and decided what you were going to wear today, it's that same kind of conscious decision to be your new self, or to be in the wish fulfilled. Call it whatever you want. Wish fulfilled, new self, they really mean the same thing. Okay? So, not everyone thinks or easily thinks of like visualizing, right? I mean, granted, we all think in pictures, but not everyone finds it easy to get a picture and stay there. And if, you know, ADD, ADHD, I don't like those labels, but I will say I get it because your mind's fluttering all over the place. So really, a perfect picture isn't needed, but you get flashes of pictures. It's okay if you can't hold it. But I'm sure that when you think about what you're manifesting, there's a flash of what that means to you. So I'll use an example. So let's say you're manifesting a specific person. I'm sure there's a flash. There's something you think of when you think of you being with your specific person. A flash. Maybe it's someone you already manifested in the past. So maybe it's a memory. A memory of you two being together, which is fine. But so when you see yourself in that picture, even if it's a flash picture, even if you can't hold the visual, when you see yourself there, it's like choosing that you're back in that body. See what I mean? So, and quite frankly, I think that my way of doing things is ADD, ADHD friendly, because that's me, right? I'm not someone that's going to sit and meditate for 30 minutes or sit and visualize for 10 minutes. I'm not going to do that. It's not who I am. My friggin' mind goes, I'm sure you can tell just how I talk. I'm all over the place all the time. So I honestly think that's our benefit. Neurodivergence is a benefit, because even if we're thinking of a shit thought, we're not stuck there, because our mind naturally wants to go anyway, right? So I think our minds are made for this, easily made for this. But so really think about yourself like stepping in to a new suit, a new you suit. Okay? So for example, I have a quantum leap video on my YouTube where it's a quick, painless little meditation. And it's my idea of meditation, okay? Nothing too overzealous. Quick of getting you out of the room you're currently in and getting you into the new version of yourself. That's really quantum jumping. That's really stepping into the new you. That's really stepping into a new reality. But chances are, if you feel like none of that type of stuff has worked for you, it's probably because you're judging reality. And you probably have a preconceived idea of how you should feel or what reality should look like for you to be able to trust you're already in that reality. And that's the shit you want to throw away. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't have an idea or an experience you want to have when you have your manifestation. That's fine. But you can be in your new reality right now in this moment by your conscious choice. Don't judge reality. Because you stepping into the new reality doesn't necessarily mean that whatever circumstance you have instantly goes away. It is instantly different. Logically and literally, it might not appear that way, but it is. You can look at it as, like the road diverted. So it might be same circumstance, but if you're choosing to be your new self, the road that circumstance is on has changed to your benefit. So try to throw out all the ideas of what you think you should, feel like, what you should be seeing. And instead, when you think about what your manifestation is, think of it as you're stepping into the you that will have all of those experiences. But it's okay if right now in this moment, reality looks the same. Accept that. Try to accept that. Because, as I was getting myself in that habit of choosing a new self, of course, reality didn't look any different to me. Initially, because like I shared, I would have moments where I would question whether this was going to be enough just to say your new self. What was the first thing I would use against myself? Reality. Well, reality hasn't changed. I don't feel any different. I still feel, upset, hurt, irritated, whatever, over 3D. So I had to get to that place of giving myself permission by accepting, despite how I feel, despite if I really don't believe anything I'm saying right now, despite if the circumstances look the same, I am my new self. And guess what? It was that on repetition, right? Me returning to my decision, I'm saying. It led to change. And it led to change rather quickly. Now, did it mean the full manifestation was sitting in front of my face within 2 days? No. But reality started changing. And meaning I could see the change. Maybe not instantly, but the change came. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't judge reality. Try not to. It's very easy to look out here and look at it logically, right? And that is not to our benefit. Logic is not our friend unless we're using it to our benefit. Don't judge reality logically. Just because you can't see change with your physical eyes doesn't mean nothing's happening. Okay? I kind of went out on a tangent on that one. I must have missed your first thing. So at least for me, I feel like I need to manifest, meaning add extra effort to be in a relationship. What do you mean, though? What's the stuff you feel like you need to do? Can you speak on anxiety attacks and manifestation? Sure. Are you experiencing them? Because I used to too. I don't like them. They're not fun. I know they're scary. Well, at least mine felt scary. I'm trying to think. In the beginning of my journey, I was a very heavy scripter. I would script daily because it felt good. So imagine I started this journey being really high strung, anxious quite often. And, I was manifesting SP back then. And of course, totally judging my reality on the daily. If you're new here, there's plenty of content of me giving you examples from my own journey all over my YouTube, just saying. But one of the things I wanted to stop feeling anxious the moment I woke up every morning, because that's when I would call it the anxiety wall would hit me the moment I woke up, and I hated it. And I hated the anxiety attacks. So I started to script that I was anxiety free. And, I don't remember the exact moment where for me, I was noticing I was not waking up with the anxiety as often. And now I don't wake up with anxiety at all. And as far as anxiety attacks, if you're having one, or if you have one anytime from now, start talking to yourself. If you're not already doing that, start talking to yourself. Start telling yourself, what this is, right? Because this is what I have done, and it has gotten me out of them very quickly. So, all right, I should back up. The reason why I'm saying this is because remember, on the manifestation side of the house, you're always choosing who you want to be by what you're believing. So this is why I say you don't have to be afraid of your thoughts, right? It's what you do with your thoughts that truly matter manifestation-wise. So from moment to moment, or thought by thought, you're choosing who you want to be, whether you're aware that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. So when you're telling yourself your new self, that is you your conscious mind controlling the subconscious mind. I know that's not how the subconscious mind is talked about in this community, but the conscious mind controls the subconscious mind, okay? So, just like you would if you weren't in an anxiety attack or a panic attack, you're choosing who you want to be moment to moment, right? So if you're experiencing one, start talking to yourself. Everything's fine. I'm fine. I know what this is. It's my body responding out of habit because my old self was in the habit of having anxiety or having anxiety attacks or panic attacks. That's what this is. I'm new self. New self is free from this. You just keep talking to yourself. It's like for a visual, it's like talking yourself off the ledge, okay? And you're going to notice that the symptoms start flailing away. It works for me, okay? I don't get the panic attacks like I used to. But that was my go-to. Once I really understood manifestation. Let me word it like that. Because in the beginning, no, I would sit there and think I was dying. And I don't know, is that what you meant? Is that what you were asking me? Because remember, we are all conditioned to believe that we are out of control over what we experience and what our internal body is doing. That's what we're conditioned to believe. But you can break free of that conditioning by choice. Just like you get to decide what beliefs you want to keep or not keep. You're doing that by who you're identifying with. And just like, so let's say that you're having a panic attack. You start doing what I suggest, and, let's say the symptoms feel like they're still there, or that it doesn't seem to be working. What are you doing in that moment? You're judging 3D, right? You're reaffirming that, oh my God, they're still here. The feelings are it's still here, right? For me, it felt like I was having a heart attack or, something along those lines. They're terrible. I know they are. But you're judging 3D in that moment. It's okay that you're feeling your feelings. It's okay that your body is responding. You keep talking yourself. You are a new self. So really, it's the same thing you would do for manifesting anything in your life. Start talking. Start claiming who you are. You start telling yourself, I have control of my body. I'm telling my body what to do. I'm feeling calmer and calmer every moment. I don't have these anymore. This is the last one I'm ever going to have. Blah, blah, blah. Just keep talking to yourself. You're going to see it's going to go away. Okay. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I don't claim to give anybody medical advice. I'm just saying from my experience, it worked for me. Yes, I am gorgeous. My body is perfect. Mystic, hollow, tarot. I like those. I like that kind of talk. I am the best. That is absolute. I like your affirmations. I used to manifest actually heart attack symptoms. I believe you. I believe you. Thoughts in of themselves are only ever based in fear and love. And I believe a lot of us are conditioned to believe our fearful thoughts more. I believe that comes from conditioning, though. Just saying. Hold on one moment. Let me address this. Okay. Kim, you're looking amazing as always. Jess, you are so kind, okay? You are so kind because it's getting lighter. It's getting lighter. I need to change my belief about bruises. I know I do. I'm just lazy. But thank you. I'm manifesting to get someone who can adopt my child because I'm just 23, no job, no nothing, just here. Okay, Pam, that's pretty deep. Pam? Is that really, no, this is not me judging you. It's your life. You do what you want. Is that really what you want? Or is it because you feel like your current 3D circumstances are against you? Because if it's not your heart's desire to go through that, because that's pretty deep. If that's not your heart's desire and you're seeing the circumstances, that, maybe look at it as manifesting a change in circumstances so that you don't have to do that. Unless, of course, that's your true heart's desire. Again, I don't judge people for what they want to manifest. But even in the 3D, there are proper channels that you can take to do that. Proper, safe. I'm saying safe and secure for the child. which is always the most important, right? There are. Just saying. I can't think of any the names of the organizations off the top of my head, but there are. There are. And, not sure what the circumstances are, but I know that there are safe places, also like police departments, hospitals, safe places to bring a child. Just saying. I have dreams of my biggest insecurities. So what? So what? What do you think dreams are? You get to decide. What are your dreams? What do they mean? So for example, if someone had asked me about dreams, let's say 2 years ago and back, I would have told you, it's just the brain processing. Just your brain processing, no big deal. Don't stress it. My opinion on dreams have changed. So you all don't have to agree with my, right? It's my reality. I get to believe what I want. You get to believe what you want. But I believe, just hear me out because I'm going to get excited if you're going to agree with me. I believe dreams are not dreams. They're reality hopping. Now hear me out. This is why. Because when you're asleep, you are essentially consciousness again. Consciousness. Now, granted, you're still, what do you call it? You're still identifying as the version of yourself. So we'll use me, for example. Every single one of us is pure, unadulterated consciousness, aka unconditional love, aka, depending on what your beliefs are, God, universe, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, we're all a part of that, right? It's who we are on the inside. The true nature. From there, we are choosing an identity. And we are choosing the being, then the identity, right? So the being, Kimberly, then what version of myself, choosing from there. But we're really just consciousness, okay? And consciousness can, the way I say it, be doing have whatever, but instantly. Because it's free from the 3D plane, dimension, whatever you want to call it. It's free from that, consciousness is. And when you're asleep, you're free from the meat sack. You still have who you're choosing to be, right? The being Kimberly. You're still yourself in dreams. But have any of you ever had the lucid dreams where you are totally aware that you're dreaming within the dream? Okay? I have had that countless times. So if you've ever experienced that, okay? Think about how when you, let's say you wanted to leave the room you were in your dream, or you wanted to go to someone's house, it was instant. You were instantly there. I believe that's, to be honest, that when we all croak, I believe that's like the graduation. That's where we do. We go there. We are instant manifestors when we croak. We can access any dimension, right? That's why people have experiences, like ghostly experiences. Just saying. So I believe that when we're asleep, we're free from this 3D meat sack, and we are back to the free, instant, hopping all over, doing whatever you want, instant manifestation selves. Okay, that's what I believe. And God damn it, I forgot the girl's name. Man, there's someone who had an experience, and this is what changed my mind about dreams, had an experience of doing that, dreaming, was conscious that they were there, and came back with a piece of jewelry. I know that sounds crazy. And if anybody else had said that, I would be, I don't know. Do I really believe that? But because of who it was, I'm like, I actually believe her. I believe that. And it made sense to me. Of course, we're free of the body when we're sleeping. Of course, we're hopping all over the place by choice. Now, don't panic. Let's say you're open to that idea that that's what's happening. Just because of your bad dream doesn't mean it's going to manifest. It just means, like we already know, if you believe in conscious manifestation, that let's say you had a nightmare, okay? Not saying I'm happy that you had a nightmare. I know it sucked, but we know all versions of us exist. That's how we're choosing who we are, right? Through our thoughts, which is why sometimes our thoughts are shitty and sometimes our thoughts are good. And why we don't have to be afraid of them is because what? They're just vehicles. Well, vehicles to where? Other realities, other versions of ourselves. So think of your nightmare as just you visited one of your versions of self that had a shitty experience. So you don't have to fear that it's going to manifest. You don't have to fear it. But I'm sure you've all had some pretty good dreams. Just saying. Okay? Isn't that? I don't know. That's what I believe. You don't have to believe it. But just saying. I had an out of this physical world experience while meditating. Totally believe you. And you agree with me? Yes, I do. It's usually nightmares. Oh my God. Are you aware that you're dreaming during your nightmare? Because if you are, well, honey, now you're armed. You're armed, right? Tell yourself what it is while you are conscious in that lucid dream so you can hop to a different reality. Change it for yourself. Make a new decision while you're dreaming. See, I bet you're going to come back and tell us that it worked. I bet. You had movement with your SP? Give us the dirt. I'm nosy. I want to hear about it. Well done. It was awesome. I bet it was. Limitless Queen. I bet it was awesome. It's real. I visualized a scene before sleep and my SP dreamt exactly what I visualized all night long. Boom. Mic drop. I agree. My best friend lost her memory. We were like sisters. Can I manifest to have the same friendship? Yeah. Why don't you go one step further and manifest that she gets her memory back? There's infinite versions of you. Infinite. Right? So clearly, because it's infinite, there's a version of you in a reality with the same best friend, but she still has her, active working memory. So choose that. Choose that. Right? We can manifest helping others. We can manifest healing because in your reality, the people you're intermingling with are the people or the versions of themselves that, are, well, I want to say tailored, but tailored to you, tailored to your reality, right? Because they're reflecting you. So that version of her exists. So do that and watch her get her memory back. But all right, let's say you don't feel like doing that and you just want to manifest that you guys have your, I'm assuming amazing friendship back. Yes, you can do that too. It'd be no different. Just you deciding to identify as the version of yourself that has use the words that feel good, an amazing, loyal bestie. Or again, use the words that feel good to you. But yeah, there's nothing you can't manifest. I know your logical mind probably throws examples of things that you think, well, you can't manifest that. Yes, you can, because there's an infinite reality where that thing is. Even the wacky cuckoo ideas. Everything is possible. It's just a matter of you convincing yourself that it's possible. Truly. But, we are really conditioned. I'm going to use aging as one of them. We are so strongly conditioned to believe in aging. But it is just a condition. It is just a belief. Everything you're experiencing in reality is really just a condition. That's all it is. Everything. Even if you want to slap that, scientific evidence, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. From conditioning. Everything is. Everything you think about. Everything is from conditioning. Your consciousness. This is a manifested reality. So it's from conditioning. Everything is. Everything. Just saying. And if it helps, because this is what helped me, just saying. Again, this is not poo-pooing on science. It's not poo-pooing on the medical world, none of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, what is always the same? How to manifest or science in any subject? What's always constant? What never changes? Again, no hate to scientists, but science changes, right? Science changes a lot. They change their mind. My favorite example, I think I've used it here before, is the friggin' poor old planet Pluto. It's a planet, it's not a planet. It's a planet, it's not a planet. It's a planet, it's not a planet. Well, hello, science. Is it or isn't it? Right? It changes. Manifestation doesn't change. It's been described nearly the same since man began, right? Manifestation didn't just start in the 2000s. It's been talked about in some semblance of a way for centuries and more. It's always the same. Changing thought, changing mind, who you identify as. But again, every mystic, every guru has their own way of describing it. But the foundation of it is always the same. It never changes. So what are you going to rely on more? What your 3D is telling you? Or what never changes? And you don't have to take my word for it. Test it for yourself. It works. How do we convince ourselves? Only by affirmations? Well, every conscious thought, conscious chosen thought is an affirmation, right? So, yeah, I guess thought, right? Because even when you're deciding to be new self, it's a thought, right? It's choosing that thought. So, I want to say yes, in a sense. Yeah, it is. Because even when you're visualizing, well, what are you doing when you're visualizing? You're picking thought pictures, but you're picking thought. All thoughts are pictures for what it's worth. You're consciously choosing pictures, so it's a thought. So it's, yeah, I guess. But as far as, the technique, it's not like you have to use a specific set of affirmations. You're allowed to pick any you want, and you're allowed to change them every 10 minutes if you want to. So you're not limited to one set of phrases, if that's what you mean. You're a limitless being. You can use anything you want. But a conscious thought, yeah, I would say a conscious thought is an affirmation. So yes, affirmations. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Every time someone shows love to me, I feel fearful they're going to leave. Okay, so is it a fear of abandonment? Do you have a fear of abandonment? Did you have an experience in your earlier years that, began that belief? And if so, I'm not telling you got to go back and fix that. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying, does it make sense to you that it's a fear of abandonment? So if so, then what do we know? We know there's a belief that there's a fear of abandonment. So that's who you've been in the habit of identifying as. So now you're new self. New self doesn't have a fear of abandonment. New self. Love of God. New self didn't have any of the, we'll say, hurtful or fearful experiences to ever have the belief. You're leaving that reality and hopping to the one where you don't. You're not afraid of losing people. You know that, again, use words that feel good, but when you love someone, they love you the same. They want to stay with you forever by their conscious choice. See what I mean, though? So now you know that. You know to start identifying as that. It's okay if you don't instantly believe that, right? It's the repetition that helps with that, right? If belief manifests, why we change the thoughts? Is it the same? Well, as far as changing the thoughts, yes, it's the beliefs that manifest. The beliefs are housed in your state of consciousness. So the way I teach or coach, whatever, talk about manifestation is the conscious thought that you are your new self. And assuming you would have already identified and defined who new self is based off what you're manifesting. So as far as like changing the thought, this is why on my channel, I tell you, you do not have to thought flip. I don't like that. I don't back up that thinking, because that we're doing that out of fear. And we don't want to be afraid of our thoughts, because we don't control the thoughts that come in our mind. But just like any belief, it's a repetitive thought that creates a belief, right? You come here to this planet when you're born, you're a clean slate. From there, you're learning and building your beliefs until you're aware of conscious manifestation, where you're learning you can be free of beliefs by making the conscious decision, the conscious decision as in the conscious thought that you are your new self. You are in that new state. So no, I don't think you need to fight every damn thought that enters your mind. Because if that mattered, if we had to be afraid of our thoughts in general, there would be some way for us to be able to control what thoughts enter our mind. And at this point in this dimension, we haven't figured that out yet. So thoughts do just pop in on their own. So as far as changing the belief, you do that with a thought, though. It's a conscious thought, a chosen thought. Does that make sense? It felt really wordy. Yes. Yes, Dina. Allow the thoughts to pass like a cloud. Totally agree. Your SP2 literally texted you in this live. Ooh, look at that. Why does it not matter if we decide we are going to have it versus already have it? Why it doesn't matter? As in like the going to have it? It doesn't matter because, now, if you're someone that fears what tense or what words you use while manifesting, you're going to want to decide you don't have that fear anymore. You're going to decide that that's now no longer true for you. Okay? So telling yourself that you're going to have a manifestation versus I already have it, it's like splitting hairs. It doesn't matter. Why it doesn't matter is because when you're telling yourself that you have it, in that moment, if you look in 3D reality, is it sitting there in front of you? Probably not. But I believe in instant manifestation. So it could be, but probably not. So then what's our next logical thought? More than likely, what the hell? I just said I have it. Right? So I guess the reason why I specify that it doesn't matter, it's because we're trying to break free of the habit of being afraid of our thoughts and being afraid of silly things like the tense, past, present, future tense of words. So there's a fear, I've seen videos of the fear of, well, if you keep saying you're going to have it, you're keeping it away in the future. No, that is that coach's personal limited belief about time, tense. It's not because you can't think I'm going to have it. We can use me as the example. So when I told you that I made a decision that I'm going to be new self, I'm making that decision. I would make that decision, and sometimes, especially if I was in a good mood, I would think about what I was going to experience in 3D reality as new self. What I was going to experience. That didn't stop it from manifesting. I'm living it right now. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Me consistently saying that I was going to experience blah, blah, blah with my specific person didn't keep it in the future away from me. It's here. So it doesn't matter, only if you believe it does. Now, as far as the telling yourself you already have it, I will say that the reason why you can tell and believe that you already have it, it's because creation's finished and it's already done. That's why we shouldn't be calling this we're creating. We're not creating anything. We're manifesting. We're choosing because creation is finished, right? As per the Bible, creation is finished. So you do already have it. You had what you were manifesting before you entered this third dimension. You already had it because creation was finished long before you came in form as whatever being you are today. So long before Kimberly was born on this planet, creation was already finished. So me and all my manifestations was already created before now, before the moment I was here for the first time. Does that make sense? So that's why you can tell yourself that you already have it and happily believe it, because it is true. No matter what it is you're manifesting. Even the stuff you want to manifest that you don't even know now in this moment that you're going to want to manifest. Creation's finished. It's already yours. That's why we very freely say in this community, it's done. It's already done. You've already got it. Whatever you want, you already got it. It's our logical, literal 3D muggles who argue that point, or it's our own logical mind that sends us fearful thoughts saying, no, you don't. You don't have your SPI. He's not with you or she's not with you. So, no, you don't. Yeah, I do. Creation's finished. Thank you very much. Because it is. So, again, if you're just walking in on this, it doesn't matter if you say, I'm going to have it. We should always be looking at our 3D reality from the place of, I know this is the unfolding. Creation's finished, so I already know I got my manifestation. So must be, if I'm going to apply logic, every single thing I'm experiencing is leading me to it. I hope that made sense. I like that. Exactly, Dior Bun. People are our reflection. Don't listen to people in the 3D. Agreed. Unless they're reflecting something good, something you're enjoying. Well, I'm glad, B. I'm glad you love that. Good. How to stop believing that something is not meant to be for me. Just like you're making a conscious decision to be new self, in the moments where old thoughts like that come in, especially if they're still bothering you, gently remind yourself that you know that's not true anymore. You know that's based off your old conditioning. It's not a meant to be scenario. From what I was just saying, creation's finished. And if you've already accepted that there are infinite versions of you, infinite, there can't be a meant to be. Because let's use an easier example. Let's say specific person. So you're manifesting someone specific. Let's use me as the example. I'll change my mind. Jason Momoa. Hot, sexy bitch. Okay, he's a hot, sexy bitch. So let's pretend I want to manifest him. I want him to marry me. Okay? I know it sounds silly. It's funny because he's a celebrity. But in reality, there's a version of me in some other reality married to that hot, sexy man. But let's say, no, I don't want to marry him. I want to marry somebody else. I want to marry, God, who else do I think is hot? Come on, Kim. There's got to be some other hot guys I'm just not thinking of right now. I was going to say Tom Cruise, but no offense, Tom Cruise. I'm really not all that into you. But let's just pretend there's a version of me who wants to. In another reality, it's a yes. So there's no meant to be. It can't be. Because everything is yes. The answer is always yes. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, the answer is always yes. Even the shit, the answer is yes. So I can't have a specific person because it's not meant to be. What if that person just isn't meant to be? I don't think I can manifest that person because it's not meant to be. God, universe is, okay, yes, you can't have it because it's not meant to be. See, this is why we were given the free will to choose which version of ourselves we are. Answer is always yes. So that makes sense, man. Why couldn't I think of anybody else good looking? That's going to bug me. Because there's plenty of dudes out there that I think are hot. Just saying. Did you say Danny DeVito, Megan? I love you for that. Actually, he's hilarious, so I wouldn't mind hanging out with him. Just saying. Yeah, Hemsworth. Yes, please. And Matthew McConaughey. Yes, please. And a double yes to Matthew McConaughey because he made the movie Interstellar. That is a lovely movie. And one of the scenes in the movie is a lovely example of all time is now. Just saying. I'm not going to ruin it for you in case you haven't seen it. Jason Momoa, yeah. Okay. Because he's hot as... Oh. Johnny Depp's cute too, yeah. I love that you are all throwing names at me. Henry Cavill, thank you so much for reminding me. Yes. He is stunningly beautiful. Just like Jason Momoa. Okay. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it. Please do, hearts. Please do. And you know what? Okay, so I just told you. So it's not a spoiler, don't worry. But you're going to see a scene in the movie where you're going to be like, oh my God, this is what Kim is talking about. This is the place where she's saying all time is now. It's going to make total sense. Okay? You're going to think about me. The name is Interstellar. Interstellar. I feel like it's on Prime. If you have Prime, Amazon Prime. I feel like it is. How to focus on present moment when mind wants to wander. Where is your mind wandering? Specifically. Fearing the future? Or wondering what is happening out in the 3D? That wonderful example I just used about the movie Interstellar is everything is happening right now. All you ever have is that present moment. Right? Everything you're experiencing, everything, even the things you remember are just present moments after present moments after present moments. We use the linear time to help make sense of the individual frames. But it's all now. So when we're worried about the future, it's almost silly when you think about it because there really is no future. But we're conditioned to think there is. There's just frames. Frames. So we don't have to be afraid of anything is what I'm trying to say. We don't have to be afraid. All you have is your present moment. We waste too much time fearing future. What if this doesn't work, right? The fear of the unknown. So in those moments, you want to remind yourself, wait a minute. I'm made from the same thing or being that created it all. What am I stressed over? What am I worried about? I'm here. I'm alive. I'm having this 3D experience. Ooh. What? Hold on. I gotta fix something here. Why does it do that? I gotta refresh you guys. Hold on. Verification complete. Why does it do that? Where it makes me live will end in 1 minute if you don't do this. Okay. Totally forgot what I was saying. Thanks, TikTok. I feel like giving up SP manifesting because it's a lot to ignore what he's doing. So give up. I say that without judgment. Give up. It's your choice to do whatever you want. Right? Just because you like manifestation doesn't mean you got to keep manifesting something you don't feel like manifesting, but that thing will end up manifesting. Just saying. But if you feel like there's too much to overcome, what does that say? I'm probably not really accepting how manifestation works. And I'm probably holding that person, we'll say SP, accountable for things that I think was happening of their own volition, which is not how manifestation works. So maybe if you could look at it from the perspective of, I understand how manifestation works. I accept that this is how it works. This is how we're, manifesting the things and experiences. And if that's the case, then I know SP was only ever reflecting my shitty beliefs. Now, Not from a place of blaming and shaming yourself. That's not what I never mean that. We don't do that here. But so that you're, in a sense, accepting, right? Taking accountability of who you used to be, your old self, and realizing, that if I start to put the focus on who the hell I want to be and put all my focus there and decide that your SP is his or her new self, what's the point in dwelling in the past? What's the point? It was a reflection of my old self. So what am I remembering? My old shitty beliefs? Do we really want to sift through the memories of fuckery? No. We want to think about all the amazing things we're going to experience as new self. But if it feels like there's too many of those memories to get over, I get it. All right, you want to start over with a clean slate? Start over with a clean slate. But clean slate as in you being new self. So that you don't experience the fuckery again. Okay? I'll be honest, I don't think there's ever really a reason to give up, but I do believe, listen, we're the boss of our reality, and if we want to move on to something else, we can. Can you be doing too much when manifesting an SP? Well, I do believe there's nothing we can do to mess up a manifestation. However, yes, I do believe we can be doing too much from the place of overwhelming ourselves when it's totally unnecessary. And then, to be honest, probably you still identifying as an old self without meaning to. So yes and no at the same time. So how I manifest is I wake up in the morning and before I even get out of bed, I have consciously decided who I am, what version of self I am. Okay? If I ever fucking feel like it, which is not very often because I got a lot going on, I will go script. Because scripting feels good to me, not because I think I need to do it to manifest. Because I enjoy manifestation. I enjoy coming up with new things I want to experience. It's fun. It feels good to me. Okay? But all I really actively do is I decide to be new self and I go live my life. So unless I start to feel bad, like say a thought has entered and I'm allowing that thought to shake me, upset me, trigger me, I will in that moment, especially if I'm having an emotional response. First of all, I see tears as shedding. It's like a release party. I look at it as releasing limited beliefs. But I will remind myself of my decision in moments like that. But outside of that, I walk around really consciously believing I am my new self. Okay? That's really all that's required to manifest. So if you're feeling like I have to, say my affirmations, my big list of affirmations several times a day, and I have to do my visual in sats before I go to sleep. Oh my God, I fell asleep before I did my sats. All of that is the wrong mentality from my perspective. You're stressing yourself out. So this is why I say find the technique that you enjoy doing. Find that. And when you're not doing your technique, you're living your life happily knowing that you are your new self. And if you find that things throw you out, right, you get kicked out of the state, that's okay. Gently remind yourself and go back. But we should never feel like manifestation is a part-time job, an extra bunch of shit we got to do. That's when we're doing too much. Does that make sense? Oh gosh, that was me when starting this journey. That was stressful. Yeah, it sucks. And it's not necessary. Taking credit for the good things in your life and knowing you manifested them really helps me. I love that. Yes, you should be giving yourself credit too. Well done. On manifesting fame, yeah. Have you defined who new self is? Is new self famous? Do you know what you want to be famous for? Or do you want to know, is there a certain visual or experience that you see for yourself that would mean to you that you're famous now, that you got the fame. So let's pretend, I don't know, let's say because you want to be like a TikTok influencer star, okay? You want to have millions of TikTok followers. Is that the flash? Is your TikTok, what's that called, your dashboard, the TikTok dashboard? And you see the million symbol there, the M? Maybe it's, a lot of money in your bank account. What's the quick visual? What do you think that feels like? What do you think it would feel like to be famous? Again, however it is that you want to be famous. What would that feel like? The freedom to have so much money. You can walk in and out of any store and buy whatever you want. Let yourself step into that. So, or affirm, you're so famous. Why? Well, because I have this, and this. There's no wrong answer. It's what feels good. Okay? Oh my God. Okay, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I have a coaching call. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you all. I'm doing my best to be going live at least once a week. If it's not here, it's over YouTube. Okay? I love you all. I appreciate you all. This was fun, right? You're all my manifestation buddies. That's how I see it. So, I'll see you all soon. Okay? Be good. Choose your new self.